In the first story for you, the White Nationalist Alliance is planning a White Lives Matter rally in Tennessee, just when you thought we couldn't be more divided as a nation. When the Nationalist Front first formed in 2016, they united the fledgling white nationalist groups scattered across the United States under a banner of common values: traditionalism, anti-capitalism, and the achievement of a white ethno-state. The last time they met was in Charlottesville, Virginia, as part of Unite the Right rally in August. We all remember it. Remember, the president said there was violence on many sides. Yeah, you remember. And now, on October 28th, the Nationalist Front will descend upon a small town, the small town of Shelbyville, Tennessee, for a White Lives Matter rally. It'll be the first of many anti-immigrant rallies in Tennessee, and will bring together a collection of nationalists, Confederates, and, wait for it, neo-Nazis. What the Unite the Right was attempting was an attempt to build a broad coalition of far-right groups together to fight against. And so here's the thing: these folks, right? These racists, let's just call them what they are. Well, they basically are creating this whole little movement because they feel left out. They feel that their white privilege is in danger. Now, let me be very, very, very clear, right? And we talk about privilege and white privilege on this show, and I've talked about it ad nauseum. And let me be, and I'm going to be very, and the president, not this president, the former president, Barack Obama, in his a farewell address sort of touched on this. The ideal that all of our lives are interwoven together. And I do believe that. Like, I think the person living in the trailer park in Mississippi, right, who is suffering from poverty and who is a victim of opioid abuse, they're not the poster child of white privilege by any stretch or means of the imagination. And then, to be frank with you, I think that their humanity is intricately connected to the humanity of a mother in Chicago who has lost her son to gang violence, thanks to illegal guns being proliferated on our streets. And I think we live in a society where we have a political party, well, I would argue we have both political parties who have created this division in which we live in a society where race has divided these two mothers and these two families where they don't understand that they're connected together. But here's the thing: the moment that we understand that poverty connects us all together, right? So if you're a poor white person in Mississippi, your humanity is inextricably connected to the humanity of the poor black mother in Chicago, right? There's some economic connections there. There is racism, yes, but there is an economic connection. I'm going to leave that there, put that to the side for just a minute. And now I'm going to get back to these racists, right? So what these racists are doing, they feel as though that their white privilege is now in jeopardy because America is becoming a more diverse place. So they will continue to have these rallies to speak out against racial integration, to speak out against immigration, and to proclaim that white lives matter. But in my mind, I'm asking, like, oh, we agree with you. Yeah, I mean, it's a known fact that white lives matter. Don't take my word for it. Just look at the facts. When Eric Garner was choked to death by white police officers, the white police officers walked. When Tamir Rice was killed by white police officers, the white police officers walked. When Trayvon Martin was shot by George Zimmerman, a white man, for walking home, bothering nobody, the white man walked. America. We live in a society today where the President of the United States can get out on a stage in Alabama and call NFL players SOBs and get applause and not boos. And we live in that same country where NFL players can say, we are kneeling because we feel as though their oppression, that we are oppressed, and we want to fight against that oppression. We are basically living the First Amendment, and they're getting booed by individuals who say they're unpatriotic. So let's be very clear. White privilege and we know white lives matter. Nobody's questioning that. The Black Lives Matter movement, as I said over and over and over again on this show, is a movement that's asking a profound question. do black lives really matter? And obviously, to the unite the right, they don't matter. But to far too many Americans, they don't matter. In an interview this week with Sean Hannity, President Trump talked about Colin Kaepernick and he talked about the NFL. And what was missing from this president's speech, which was shocking to me and this should be shocking to most Americans, is that this president refuses to admit that there's racial inequality in this country. Every president in modern history has admitted that there's racial inequality and we've got to do everything to solve it. Besides this one. We'll be back after this break.